Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel without any Piscean anything. You're probably an empath and you're probably needing messages from your soul. So I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard was, can't let go. How do we get ourselves into these type things? How do we get ourselves into these type things? Just shuffle the cards. Shuffle the cards and let's get started. Too much. That's too thick. 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 It's too thick. Pisces, empaths. I feel like we need to be protected. I feel like we need to be protected and just hidden away and not accessible. Or I feel like I do. I feel like I do. All right. So hold on. Let me shuffle it again. My goodness. There. All right. I don't know. I'm feeling some kind of way right now. Obviously, I'm feeling some kind of way. I'm thick in ways I don't want to be. I'm thick in ways that I don't want to be. It's fine. So, I tell people about you, they say they have Jesus. What? Wait, what? You tell people about me, they say they have Jesus. I am doing Jesus work. When was I ever against Jesus? Never. All right. So, lack of boundaries. Maybe you've established boundaries and maybe those boundaries are not being honored. You know what I mean? Maybe there's this thing that's happening where it's like the lack of boundaries in one aspect of your life is kind of pushing you towards another aspect. Know what I'm saying? I wish I'm gonna be really real right now, Melba. I wish certain people would find Jesus and leave me alone. Know what I'm saying? I wish that certain people would believe in Jesus a little bit more and go to him instead of to me. Not you guys, a specific individual. I'm just saying. Anyways, yeah, no, this is someone who is stuck in their ways. I feel like this is something confined. This is something very like it's its own little nugget of crazy. And I'm saying it's its own little nugget of crazy. Like this is someone who totally would be I don't know. It's a bad juju energy. Okay. This is someone that's obsessed. I don't think that it's you. I don't know that it's someone that you're interested in. It feels like it is someone who maybe you don't want around and have really made it clear that you don't want them around, you know? Intensification, allowing your intent to intensify. What are you talking about? She said it, The person I'm talking about can't comment unless they created yet another account. Let me leave that alone. So this is something like you have to allow your intention to intensify. What do you want? What do you want out of your connections, out of opportunities, out of, all these different things that is being presented to you? What do you want? Do you want peace? Do you want um to be left alone? Do you want opportunities for things that you want to experience but are too afraid to bring to fruition? You're afraid to take a chance on something. What do you want? What do you want? Do we know? I don't know if we even know. I don't know if um I don't know if we want to know, to be honest. Part of me thinks and feels as though that Piscean energy, that Piscean collective, the empathic collective, we just kind of float around through life, trying to make as few waves as possible because our environment, other people, it's so inconvenient for them to see us swim. No waves if you swim deep enough. If you go deeper, there's no waves. You're too close to the surface. That's too surface level of an existence. And it's just really something that we have to let go of our of this loyalty that we've pledged to play this role of being small, being accommodating, being this, being that. Um yeah, I mean, what's it going to take? And it's also this question of, um, as a Piscean, as an empath, have you been volunteering things that maybe you shouldn't volunteer, offering things that maybe you shouldn't offer because you feel bad for someone, because this, because that? You know how many times a person will exploit that type of behavior? As many times as you let them. That's how many times. That's how many times. A fish trying to swim without swimming is a dead fish. It's a drowned fish. Let that sink in. A fish without swimming, a fish that swims without swimming, it's a dead fish. So, with all of this, it's like we have to let go of our loyalty to whatever this storyline is that we've told ourselves, that we've told other people. We have to let it go. It's something that really is affecting us. Something super upsetting. Just, yeah. Let's just pull more cards. Card number 2, inner trust. Have you been not trusting yourself again? Have you been letting yourself get to this point yet again where you're attacking yourself, you're doubting yourself, you're blaming yourself for these characteristics that you have, and all the different complications that these characteristics, these character traits create for you in your life? There's just so much that we could do to further along our personal peace, our sense of self, our self healing. We're going to have to choose that despite people in our lives Maybe it's someone that you hold close, maybe it's someone that you keep pushing away by the face and they won't go away. Maybe it's something like that, but it's just this thing of like, how much are we allowing? How much are we allowing? What are we allowing? I found that for some of us, as we exit out of toxic cycles and toxic mindsets, toxic emotions, sometimes what will happen is we'll allow people who are toxic into our lives because it's not necessarily us being toxic at this point, but at least we still have the comfort of a toxic person in our environment, and that's our comfort zone. That toxicity is our comfort zone. It's something that gives us a little hit, a little bump of that toxicity. And I mean, I don't know. Are we done with that? Are we ready to exit that? Because if you really trust yourself, you know the way out of this. You know the way out of this, and it's almost like just disappointed. Card number 5, follow your own rhythm. Allowing yourself to follow your own rhythm, to turn away from things, to turn towards things. Uh, Really just going through your process, allowing your process to unfold in whatever way it's meant to unfold. We have to choose to react differently if we're really actually going to move past it. Whatever reactions you've had, whatever reactions you continue to have to certain types of situations you have in your life, you're going to have to choose a different response if you're really going to actually move past that cycle. You have to. And I'm kind of like, which is the lesser evil? I can honestly say one option really isn't evil. It's just kind of frustrating, I guess. I don't know. It's not evil. They're not evil. Ugh, I don't know. I don't know. Card number 37, focus on the light. Allowing yourself to focus on what little tidbit of clarity you have. Okay? You have clarity. Seek it out. Allow yourself to get very, very clear, even if it's not a bright spotlight. An ember in the middle of pitch blackness is bright AF. It is bright AF. In addition to that, if you've been in a dark spot for quite some time, you know what ends up happening? Your eyes adjust. They adjust. You're able to see much more in that darkness than you would um, if you had a flashlight with you. So, card number 11, diving for light, you have to go deeper. You have to allow yourself to get to a depth where you're not creating waves. You're not creating tsunamis with your movement. Oops, with your process. Because really, I mean, if you have to move through your process, you have to move through that process. And if you're not going to move through that process, then what's going to happen? You're going to be stuck. But if you don't want to move because you don't want to create waves, I mean, what's the solution? You have to come up with some sort of middle ground for you to exist within and allow yourself to freely shift and move within that middle ground. How? Why? Cody's mom, stop. I'm really not in the mood today. I even looked through this damn deck to make sure. I even looked through the damn deck to make sure. I'm just. Anyways. So, power of attraction. I'm. I've always known, and I'm basically receiving another reminder that sometimes the road that you take to avoid things ends up becoming the very road that leads you to what you were avoiding in the first place, which is the facing head on of the things that you need to face, the things that um I don't know. I don't know. Let me just look at the rest of the deck. The second trust yourself card, like you really have to trust yourself through this. Whatever this is, it's something that's really, really big. This is an opportune moment to recalibrate and redirect your life. Wherever it is that you're heading, pack your bags because your dream is about to come true. Whatever that dream is, it's about to come true. You're attracting it to you. You're attracting that to you. So, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to actually allow things to come to fruition? Or are you going to fight it? I don't know. I don't know. I think for some, um, there's just so much fixation on certain types of topics and certain types of soul connections. And it becomes this thing where it's such an unhealthy fixation, like such an unhealthy fixation, that it becomes the very thing that continues to give you a lot of issues. Okay, continues to give you a lot of problems and struggles. Like, here's the thing, since we're going on that twin flame card, right? Like, some people just insist that someone else is their divine counterpart, and it's this thing of, if they don't believe that you are, how do you know you're right? How do you know that you're right? How do you know? Because you don't know. You really don't. You don't know whether or not this person really has some sort of connection with you. Do you know how many people insist that I am some sort of divine counterpart for them? No, ma'am. No, I'm not, ma'am. I'm not. I'm not. Like, I've identified, I don't know how many, 3 or 4 people who are actually like that twin type energy. I've also identified one person that I suspect is the actual twin ray energy. And I'm not in denial of any of that. But do you know how many people come to me and are like insisting that I'm running away from them because I'm afraid that I'm not running away from you because I'm afraid you're my twin. I know for a fact you're not. I'm running away from you because you feel very unstable and fixated. And I'm trying to not get caught up with that. That's why. That's why I avoid it. And it's this thing that we have to I don't know if you guys go through that type of thing, but maybe I consistently go through that because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know, but let me just pull cards. It's been a rough day. Actually, I taught my workshop earlier. That wasn't a rough day. I loved it. I loved it. I really enjoyed the time with my workshop attendees. All right. So here goes. Card number 6, Saturn, Truth. As she planted, so does she harvest. Such is the field of karma. So, okay, I'm wondering the certain types of topics that keep popping up for us within our life. Are these the things that we avoid processing? What keeps popping up? What type of theme keeps popping up for you in your life? So I do readings practically every day, and oftentimes this twin topic pops up. That's something that I avoid. That's an entire subject matter that I avoid, right? What about you guys? What do you avoid? Can you find the courage within yourself to be honest with what you're avoiding and why? You know, can you be honest with that? Because I don't know if we even know what we're avoiding. So because I avoid the twin topic, is every mother freaking reading, every single reading, every single reading, literally every single reading has something twin this, twin that. I don't know what I need to address. I don't know what I need to address within that subject matter, but it's like there's a reason every single reading has the subject matter, right? Right. What are you avoiding that really, why are you avoiding it? So Sochi avoids rest. Why do you avoid rest? Is it because during that period where you're going to actually rest, it creates that's a period that it's quiet enough that it creates the potentiality for you to begin analyzing what happened to you that day, maybe what happened to you last week, last month, last year, several years ago, early childhood, previous life, all sorts of different things. Avoidance is usually fear based. It usually has to do with not wanting to deal with the very thing that you probably have to deal with, you know? Hyper independence is a trauma response. Not sure if you know that. So, Saturn card says that it may feel bad now, but it's going to be resolved. Truthfully, I'll just speak this out into creation. I'm getting to a point. I'm getting to a point where, like, I literally, genuinely, honestly, deeply mean this. I would literally, genuinely, honestly, gladly, very happily, excitedly deal with my actual twin ray than this specific individual that did I really say that? I think I found me a Lady Voldemort. I think I found me a Lady Voldemort is what it is. Um, yeah. I think I literally would actually prefer, and it's not even like, I guess, no, it's like, no, no, really, no, come on, sit beside me so they can't sit beside me. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Like that's how. I don't know how we get ourselves into these things where it's like, I don't know. So Saturn, the Lord of Karma, and this rainbow planet represents what is tangible and solid in our lives. Saturn also deals with power and control. If this is a time of sorrow or hopelessness, realize it's all about diligence, sticking to what you believe in, and adhering to your goals. This is a period in your life that emphasizes toughness and work. It's all about not giving up and following through. When Saturn card presents itself, know that you're being challenged. You think? It's time to make it or break it. Life may seem harsh and restrictive. You're facing an enemy who may be yourself. Saturn shows us that at times it's in our better interest not to have those things we want, and that if we were to have them, they could lead us to our destruction. So, on the more positive side, you may meet a fatherly type who will help you advance with your goals. Saturn can sometimes herald the appearance of a sage or a teacher. Maybe we need to take some classes or something, some attitude classes. I don't know. Maybe that's what I personally need. Some attitude classes, and I don't know. Problems with the bones, joints, or skeletal structure could crop up. Already there. Dental complications are a possibility. Yep, check that off. Feeling your age, no matter what your biological age is, will seem pressing and even worrying. Why have I not accomplished more at this age? Have I wasted my time? Oh, did I allow important affairs to slip by me while concentrating on non essential matters? Many lessons are being learned and problems conquered currently or in the near future. I have no pep in my step today. Helping you face parts of your life you may dread, but you simply must fulfill. They are your contracts toward more solid achievements and a better life. Circumstances may be harsh for a while, but believe your sacrifices to be worth it. It's a good time to be diligent and not rush anything. Whatever you're asking about is likely to take considerable time and not come about too quickly. So we can't rush through this period. If you're, is Mercury in retrograde? For real, is Mercury in retrograde right now? Is that what it is? Which planet's in retrograde? Is someone in retrograde? Let's see. What is that? I'm gonna have to look that up later. Okay. Mm, okay. Wait. Venus will be retrograde. What does it mean for Venus to be in retrograde? I don't know. I don't know. Neptune's in retrograde. Can we just toss all the planets? Just yeet them? Yeet them all. Just yeet them all. Something's in retrograde. It doesn't feel right. So, North Node, life's purpose. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. The North Node points out the best areas for us to direct our talents and our wills. The North Node shows us the areas of gifts. It represents destiny. It's directly opposite to the South Node, which is much more serious and restrictive. The North Node represents where we benefit from good work done in past lives and how that assists us in the here and now. So, what's not a thing? I see your name, Sacred and Salty. I figure we could be salty together. What's not a thing? So let's see. The North Node, okay. It's a place in the chart where life becomes easier. It acts like a karmic Jupiter where a doorway opens and suddenly you're where you need to be. This card means you can be assured destiny has a place in your situation. Through many lessons, you're about to arrive at a place for your highest good. Your life is expanding and opportunities pour in swiftly, catching you quite by surprise. This card also represents past life memories and karmic connections. Do you end all your sentences with LOL? And we're not friends. I don't know who you are. You know what? Let me just. So let's see. So this is something that's happening for your highest good. Your life is expanding and opportunities pour in swiftly. Past life memories and karmic connections. You may meet people whom you've known over many past lives, perhaps in a soul family where bonds form very quickly. And then, like, with that, it's almost like, just because it's something that happened in a past life, that doesn't mean that it's going to be something that is healthy, balanced, um, enjoyable in this life. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. It really, really doesn't. Um, I think too many people allow the whole concept of karma, which is nothing more than miasmic distortions, and like past life connections to really mess them up in their head. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Do we necessarily always have to have that like past life history in order to have a successful connection in this life? Do we always have to lean on that? You know what I mean? Are we using that as a crutch to justify um, our continued acceptance of the bare minimum that people give us, present us? I'm like really trying my best to exit out of that, to not just be a reflection of what stands before me, but instead to choose to emanate, to glow from the inside out. It's not a glow up, it's a glow out. Allowing the truth of who I am, where I stand, what I currently believe, what I want in my life, what I don't want in my life. Really just allowing the situations that I'm currently living through to be the very things that help me to rebalance some of the things that maybe weren't balanced for so long. because of different types of perceptions, different types of distortions in that perception, um, that have caused, like literally unnecessary struggle. Yeah. I think that today, or whatever this energy is from the past few days, energy that's going to be extending into the next couple days, maybe the next week or so, I'm wondering if we really need to get to a point where we just make this decision to no longer fight, resist, or try and explain away and excuse away all the ways in which we're avoiding what actually needs to be processed. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I think I'm really literally going to leave a space open, for certain people to um to be able to share space with me so that communication can be had. These are not people who are disrespectful and their continued infringement on my personal space and personal privacy. No, not those people. Those people can suck a fucking dirty dick. I'm sorry. I had to vent some of that salt. I'm so sorry. I had to vent some of that salt. I had to let it out for a second. Okay. Okay. Let me rein it back in. Let me rein it back in. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to fill up all the seats that surround me in my life. I'm going to actually finally let them be filled. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to consciously choose for those seats to be filled. No more like, these seats are reserved, and then someone's going to come up and be like, oh, can I sit there? Because no one's sitting there. No. No, you may not. I'm saving that seat for someone. I'm saving that seat for someone. And it's not you. I'm not sorry either. Just making that decision. Have you guys been like oscillating between growth and reverting back to old patterns? I've noticed I've been returning back again, like backsliding into old patterns of not being able to speak up for myself, not being able to like properly communicate boundaries with specific individuals. Um, I think I need to correct that. I'm pretty sure I need to. I'm pretty sure I need to. I'm pretty sure I need to. Like old things popping back up, and all of these like really difficult conversations needing to be had between self and soul, and reverting back to the same type of pattern of, no, I can't right now, soul. I'm sorry, I'm busy. Am I busy, or do I just not want to deal with it? Are you busy, or do you just not want to deal with it? I mean, I don't know. You may meet people with whom you've known over many past lives, perhaps in a soul family where bonds form very quickly. You're taking on a larger view of your life, which not only emphasizes your talents, but aligns your talents with like minded souls. It's a fortuitous time to be a privately owned business. Oh, to begin a privately owned business or other professional venture that will bring in extra finances. Whatever this venture may be, fun, creativity, and optimism will be part of it. At this time, you will feel less limited and your goals and plans will have far reaching potential. Keep in mind, the lunar nodes always bring shifts and changes. For instance, a relationship with someone who has destiny spelled all over him or her may suddenly walk into your life. If so, this relationship will start rapidly and be life altering. You know, one job may end swiftly, and you will find yourself in a much more suitable position. If the energy is used correctly, it will promote greater optimism and prosperity. This means finances are also likely to increase. This energy is now telling you that the schooling part is over for now. Lessons have been learned, and you're now to act on these lessons towards a greater destiny. At this time, it's evident where you need to go and where you need to be. As the soul's messenger, the appearance of the North Node card in a spread indicates growing into what is called the larger unknown, meaning you are moving towards a point that promises greater fulfillment. The nodes are karmic, therefore, the lessons are not easy ones. Matters will develop suddenly, but there is still work to be done. Luck is on your side with an opening towards greater things. Karmic lessons learned and processed bring fulfillment and happiness. So there's a lot of North Node action happening right now. A lot of like in this life, past life tied in, choices, options, distractions, um, shifting of what needs to be focused on, and nothing is going to happen for you in a positive manner without your actual participation. And sometimes that actual participation really means nothing more than lifting up, opening the gates, and letting shit flow. That's an active part of participation, not blocking the way of things. Yeah, not blocking the way. Have you ever been so upset and have tried so hard to not be that it's hard to breathe? Have you ever had that? Card number 34, 10th house, the world. The desire for fame tempts even noble minds. Fame and the world at large. In astrology, the 10th house, which is at the top of the zodiac, embodies the masculine principle and represents the father or a primary male influence, or at least a very powerful, influential man. It can also represent the man in a woman's life because the 10th house opposes the 4th house. It can sometimes represent the woman or the mother in your life. So, mostly the 10th house stands for reputation and standing. This is an ambitious card. It's about owning the world and being on top of the world. I wonder if we can also say it's about owning your world, your created reality. This is the house of Capricorn. It indicates you're about to put forth a diligent and concentrated effort. The climb and the advancement of your reputation is what the 10th house card means when it turns up in a spread. It also suggests looking at everything as the big picture. So, really, the big picture has a lot to do with when you continue to reject what should be here, other things will come and try and fill that space. And it's kind of like, are those things toxic? Maybe, probably. I feel like in my personal situation, yeah, very toxic, very, very toxic. People will discuss what you're doing, what you have started or about to make. You may be contracted or contacted by the media, become recognized, or at least you'll see your efforts in some public forum. The matter in hand may have something to do with governments, traveling to other lands, or encountering foreigners. Or it could just mean your ambitions are about to gain momentum. So everything that you're working towards is going to be coming full circle. It's going to come to fruition. Just because it comes to fruition does not mean it's going to naturally, normally, seamlessly, effortlessly integrate into your life, especially if you're being a gatekeeper in your life. If you're not going to let things pass, if you're going to be your own damn Gandalf, you will not pass. Like Gandalf, back the fuck up, scoot over, bro. You blocking the way, Gandalf. I mean, are you being a Gandalf? If you're going to be a Gandalf, at least be a Gandalf the White, not Gandalf the Gray. He looked filthy. He looked filthy fighting the Balrog. Oh my gosh. I need to watch Lord of the Rings. I feel like it'll have messages for me in my life. I'm trying to bring the magic back into my life by watching Lord of the Rings. Does that tell you what kind of, oh my God. If you were to watch a movie to empower you in your life, what movie would it be? I picked a movie with Balrogs, hobbits, and a Gandalf. Completely ignoring the humans of Middle Earth. I prefer the Balrogs, the hobbits, and the Gandalf. I like the elven. Kind of. Sort of. A little bit. A little bit. I'd like Harry Potter too, but they don't have ring wraiths, so we need to get it like a little bit darker than Voldemort. Voldemort is just like it's fluff, you know. We need ring wraiths. we need we need an all-seeing eye that's going to crumble. I'm so sick and tired of people stalking me. I'm sick and tired of it. Okay. Layers of illusion will be removed, your essential self disclosed. This could be in relation to the public or a possible love interest. If a love interest, they could be older or more established, or they will work along beside you in meeting your goals. If this card comes up, it can sometimes mean playing along with the status quo to get ahead. In essence, this is a primary card of fame and infamy, your legacy and what you'll become known for. It's the house of success and failure, and this card will tell of what will likely come about, depending on the surrounding cards and upon the energies that surround you at the current time. So, truth and honesty will decide this matter. The universe is supporting you now. Okay. So you have support from creation, right? You have support from creation, and you're really just needing to make sure that you're not pushing that support away, that you're not going out of your way to create space between things that don't need space, right? It's almost like this sense of when you do that, when you push things, opportunities, people, even when you push people away because you don't want to deal with it, because you don't want to face it, because whatever your reasoning is, that sometimes is the very thing that creates the opening for the slimier, nastier, more toxic filled things to enter. I think, yeah, The Witcher is a really good is a really good representation of my life. I'm just saying. Um, do you lack trust or do you have a good memory? Because I feel like a lot of people who have trust problems, who have a hard time trusting others, it's not because you have trust issues. It's not because you don't know how to trust. It's because you've been betrayed so many times and so deeply down to your core that now you're waiting for other people to do it to you again. So, do you lack trust or do you have a long memory? I think that's a real question. Let's pull some other cards. Oh, it was right here. Because I know for me, um, like it takes me time to really assess people and decide whether or not I even want to enter into the process of getting to know them, to trust them. I'm very good at um, having people feel very comfortable around me, comfortable enough that they trust me, because I mean, I really have nothing planned for you. It kind of just is what it is. You either vibe with me or you don't. There's no ulterior motive. Um, but then at the same time, I don't live in such a way where it's like I can just blindly look at strangers, people I don't know, even acquaintances, as like, like, oh, they know they're totally trustworthy. You know what I mean? It's very rare. It's very, very rare. And in the job that I do, I mean, y'all know how many times I've moved in a year? How many times I've moved in 1 year, just 2021? I literally just unpacked. Not even all the boxes yet. So it's kind of like this thing of, do I have trust issues, or do people keep, you know, I don't know. Let me just pull cards. Cody's mom. Oh my gosh, Cody's mom. She's like, say it. All right. So I will say this. She goes, you can't stay quiet on this. You can't stay quiet on this. I will say this. The more someone pushes to try and establish a place in my life, the more I push back and push you away. The more people try and like infiltrate individuals around me because they can't get good with me, they'll try and get good with everyone else around me. My eyes, my C is fucking shady, conniving, manipulative as fuck. And it confirms everything that I can't quite figure out why I don't want you around. That's all I'll say. I mean, I think that's all I need to say. She said I said that beautifully. I don't know. All right. So let's pull. Shit. Okay. So the devil card, subordination, ravage, bondage, malevolence. See, malevolence, malevolence, malevolence. Subservience, downfall, weird experience, bad outside influence or advice, black magic, unexpected failure. We have to recognize things for what they are, and we have to address them with the appropriate level of force and attention. Okay? We have to be very, very, very clear. We have to be very, very, very clear. Very clear. And I think I'm still being too nice in that, you know? I think I'm still being too nice in that. But then comes this thing of like, should I alter who I am in real life to accommodate someone's like intellectual handicap? There has to be some sort of intellectual handicap if they can't understand that, you know, you don't want them around, or that you want something else, or that they're being very toxic, or that, you know, leave you alone. Leave you alone. When someone doesn't want you around, do you continue? And then comes this thing of like, is the problem you? Because if multiple people have done this to you, I mean, how many of you guys have had um stalkers to that degree where there's like multiple, and you know, how many of you guys? Because it's really this thing of like, does this just happen to me? Is it just me, or does this happen to a lot of people? And if it's just me, what is it about me? Am I still doing something that I'm not quite cognitive of? You know what I mean? So it goes beyond the action of it, and it enters into this place of like really trying to understand. so that if it's something to do with me internally, I can correct that about myself. Am I too available, too nice, too, and it's like, why are all the things that when we go through this type of thing, the things that we ask ourselves is all positive things. So this is what you get for being too nice, for being too available, for wanting to help, for going out of your way to try and help, for supporting, for, you know what I mean? Um it's just, I think there's a lot of things that are surfacing in this period that are really needing to help, or that are really needing your help, break through the surface. You're going to have to begin asking yourself intentional questions. Okay. These questions are to help you understand yourself and where you are. So, yeah, I get that some people are just very imbalanced and unhealthy. But now comes the question of, why are they drawn to me of all people? Right? Why are they consistently drawn to me? I mean, I'm not the only empath in this world. I'm not the only Piscean in this world. If it's an Asian fetish, I'm not the only Asian in this world, right? Why is it a consistent influx for me? And it's not like asking these questions because I'm feeling like a victim and this and that. It's asking these questions. So, again, emphasis on me understanding myself, where I'm at within my journey, how it affects the people who witness me, and, you know, just really, yeah. What's a possible lesson to learn from a stalker? I don't know. No idea. No idea. That I need to work harder and make more money and have a full security detail 24 days, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't know. Is it to learn no mercy? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm really, really getting there. Maybe it's like to get you to balance out where you've come from and where you've traveled to. So maybe if you had no mercy before and you totally traveled too far, too deep into the full mercy um, territory, it's to kind of bring you back to center point between the no mercy and the full mercy. I don't know. I really don't know. But there's a shit ton of. We got 5 major arcana cards. You're sweet. Cody's mom says she protect me. I believe her. She says she'll protect me. Um, the Chariot in reverse: failure, sudden collapse of plans, unrealistic plans. So I think this is telling me that the attempt to access will fail, that I just have to hold myself steady. I have to just really, really stay balanced within even this rickety part of the bridge that takes me away from the toxicity. Like we just it's this imagery that, like, if you're walking on a rickety bridge, sometimes it's much more dangerous to go really slow. I mean, you're not going to just, sprint across it, but it's almost like this sense of just walking regularly. Walk regularly all the way across. You know what I mean? Just walk across it. Justice in reverse, bias, false accusations, bigotry, severity in judgment, intolerance, unfairness, and ABUSE. Yeah, no, I know this person wants me. Not my type. Not my type. Totally wrong caliber. Not my type. Um, I mean, it's always the 22 that's trying to fit in a 50 cal. Just saying. Just saying. Not my type. Totally not my type. Desperate and infringing. Not my type at all. Very, very far from being my type. Did I mention I'm married? And hetero? I don't know if I mentioned that. Promise I'm not in the closet. Promise. I promise. I'm not in the closet. You know, I'm just, yeah, not even bi curious. Just as traditional and I don't do the pronouns thing. I don't identify as anything outside of what my genitalia is. I'm attracted to the opposite of what my genitalia is. We like lock and key up in here. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. You know, like it's not. See, here's the thing. I think part of what people do is they try and convince themselves that there's this story going on that you're just faking being happy when you're actually are happy, and that they're going to save you from that. But it's like, how do you save me from my unhappiness when you're not happy yourself? You don't know how to be happy. So how are you going to make me happy? You know? So then it becomes this thing of maybe these are the things that happen to kind of help you get to that point of realization that you actually are happy. And it wasn't necessarily that I was questioning if I was happy, but maybe I just needed a reminder. So that coming out of my mouth, that whole thing of like, but I'm actually happy where I'm at. Um, Now I don't feel so sour. You see how magical that is? When you say things and you really mean it, you're not saying it like you're angry, you're just making a declaration, a statement. It's like a reminder of what your truth actually is. And in that triggered state, are you in your truth or are you in your history? Because by technicality, if you're triggered, that means something from the past is coming back up into your present. So if you're existing in a state of triggeredness, are you in the present or are you still being governed by your past? I mean, you know, we gotta. I just. Tower in reverse. Continued depression, living in a rut, entrapment in an unhappy situation. And I think it has a lot to do with whether or not we're willing to take a look at where we're actually at. You know what I mean? Whether we're in that triggered state or in that fully present in the now state, or um, we're in the anxiety about a future that we can't control or predict state. Just so many different things that we factor in. And all these things that we factor in, it's like it almost never involves the reality of the now, the here and the now. Two of Staves in reverse. Sadness, trouble, restraint caused by others, loss of faith, surprise. I think part of the lesson that I'm going through, and that probably many of you are going through, is having found your voice, having been able to speak your truth for a period, only to lose that once again and have to go through the process yet again of finding that voice again, not just speaking your truth, but advocating for yourself. Advocacy is important. Self advocacy is such an important life lesson for empaths, and especially for Pisceans. Especially for Pisceans. Especially for Pisceans. Self-advocacy. Gosh, it's so hard for an empathic Piscean empath, that for me to even say that self-advocacy, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I mean, I could advocate for others, but like self-advocacy? Self-advocacy. Yes. Advocating for yourself. Four of Coins in reverse, setbacks in material matters, opposition to further gain, suspense and delay. It's one of those things, one of those tings. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. I'm kicking your ass tomorrow. Shove my foot down your throat early tomorrow. A Page of Cups. A studious and intent person. They're watching you. They're studying you. They're trying to see if they have the effect they want on you. I mean, if the effect that you want from me is being disgusted with you, fuck yeah, accurate, baby boo. Accurate. You're doing a good job. You're excelling. Yeah. I'm close to vomiting, literally. Good job. Good job. A studious and intent person, reflective, meditative, loyal, willingness to offer services and efforts. So basically, they're trying to like kiss your ass. I'm insanely flexible. I can kiss my own ass. I'm just saying. I'm insanely flexible. I can kiss my own ass. Yeah. I mean, do we need people to do that? Do we? Do we need people who will completely disregard our actual needs, our emotions? They don't take into consideration the toxicity of the behaviors. I definitely don't need that. Ten of Staves in reverse. Difficulties, intrigues, a traitor, deceiver. Some losses will occur. Seven of Swords in reverse. Arguments, uncertain counsel or advice, circumspection, slander. So it seems like for some, there's an individual who's going to insert themselves into your life and cause a lot of strife. Like a lot of strife. And it's going to be this thing of, are you going to nip it in the bud right now? Or are you going to wait until it's an issue? That's the choice. Those are your options. There's no in between. Are you going to nip it in the bud right now? Or are you going to wait until it's an actual issue? And what you decide right now is what's going to determine how this is going to actually play out. Seven of Cups, fantasy, imagination, daydreams, foolish whims, wishful thinking, illusionary success. Yep. Wishful thinking, illusionary success. Are you really making progress down that path of self-love if you can't or refuse to do the self-advocacy? Because, I mean, if you can't speak up for yourself, is that really love? Is that really all you deserve from you? I don't know. I don't know. There are people who literally just can't let go of what they perceive they can create out of this. They see an opportunity for something that, completely disregards everything else. But I mean, really, who gives a shit, right? Who gives a shit, because they're going to get what they want. So card number 1, beyond death, life. Footprints lead to the shore of the sea. Beyond that point, no trace remains. I'm calling to you. Can you hear me? Listen. Within your heart, there I speak. My voice rings true. You're urged beyond what has been. The time has come. Lay it to rest now. This ending comes as grace to free you from all that you have known. For what you've my eyes itchy. For what you have known is now too small for your soul. Bear your uncertainty with equanimity. I'm certain enough for both of us. Allow me to show you the light that you are. that burns within you, blazing angel of heavenly purity. I will unveil you to yourself, undressing your ego, casting aside it in layers, as tender as a lover with unwavering attention upon the sacred body of light. You shall know yourself in truth, as pure beyond all experience, untainted, ever innocent, as a pure vessel stripped bare, ready for the divine revelation, as light, as life, as love. The soul craves variety because it leads to wholeness, and wholeness leads to divine revelation. The purpose of the soul incarnating in this world in the first place is to realize its divinity through the sacred crucible of life. The older the soul, the closer it is to the realization of divine oneness, and the more powerful its determination to shed that which would constrain complete and conscious immersion into the divine presence. So here you are, an old soul at the edge of something you have known, at the cusp of an ending and a beginning. Perhaps you are already in surrender and falling in, or perhaps you are fearful and resisting as you greet your unknown destiny. Yet this moment is happening because your own divine soul has chosen for it to be this way, so that love may grow. There's no punishment in this ending, nor is there anything to fear. There may be pain, there may be grief and loss, there may be uncertainty and even insecurity, yet you have a heart big enough to bear such growing pains. Your heart is even big enough to receive the joy that is lying in wait for you as you stumble across her in the course of your clumsy, inspired travails into new life. You can scoop her up in your arms and spin her wildly about as she delights in your embrace, throwing her head back and laughing her vibrant, contagious laughter, filling you with exquisite ecstasy. Yes, you shall know the truth, the knowledge that the divine is with you, guiding every unfolding moment of your life journey. No matter how dark it may first appear, the divine is with you in unflinching generosity, with compassion, and with fierce passion for your blossoming into all that you are, all that you can be. So, what you must do to receive this divine grace, this new life, you must be willing to face death. It may be that death has come to you in the form of loss of a beloved one, a physical loss that takes you into the darkest despair of depths or your grieving heart, of your grieving heart. It may be death that comes to you in the ending of a financial or professional situation you once relied upon. It could also be in the sense that you don't really know who you are anymore. Old identities having shown themselves to be inadequate, inaccurate, masks, mere ego masks too small for the great being that you are starting to suspect you may be. Your death may be a choice to let go, to take a step in a new direction, to move house, to end a relationship, to change career, or to step away from a religious or philosophical tradition or a group or teacher. Your death may not feel as though it's come by choice at all. It may be a sickness that leaves you feeling helpless, a relationship or other life circumstance changing when you wish with all your heart that it would not. Your transition through this death may be triggered by an inner feeling that you cannot quite pin down. Nonetheless, it powerfully propels you away from what has been and towards untapped possibilities, perhaps even towards great confusion as you encounter life in a new way, feeling even somewhat unprepared and uncertain as to what may lie ahead of you. I'm wondering if this loss, like sense of loss, has to do with someone else's interfering with your process, interfering with your life, possibly even using magical means to try and coerce compliance. What do you guys feel? What do you guys think is going on? Do you feel like this is all just something that is part of your destiny, part of some romanticized version of your life story, where due to your quiet, due to the absence of your voice, the absence of your self-advocacy, someone else has taken your pen and notepad and is now starting to write uh, additional details to your life story, ones that you did not approve. So then what needs to happen? Do we need to like really assess what this is all about? Do we need to really assess what we need to do, or do we already know? Do we already have an idea of what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to do it, but I almost feel like the secondary gates of demonic confinement have been opened and the demons are just trickling the fuck in. I'm just saying. Ooh, hooty hoo. Just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, have you guys noticed repeating type like people from the past coming in, and maybe you guys didn't have any issues before, but they were definitely someone you identified as toxic, toxic to you, toxic for you, just toxic in some way. And now, repeating patterns, repeating people. The fuck, Mercury? Is Mercury in I don't think Mercury's in retrograde. I mean, I don't do astrology stuff. I just don't. But it feels like there's a lot of things that are almost like being set loose onto this earth plane. Um Not necessarily flat out like spiritual warfare or anything like that. I mean more like attempts to reestablish connectivity. I don't know. I don't know. I'm done pulling cards, so I don't want to know anymore. I don't want to know anymore. I'm just kind of I'm good. I'm just good. I'm good. Um all right. Cody's mom asked me to pull one more card. I'll pull it from the Kuan Yin deck. I'm about to no, I'm not. I'm not about to do anything. I'm not about to do anything. I am about to just go chill. That's what it is. That's what I'm going to say. I'm about to just go chill. Ooh, there has been a lot of intervention that they think I don't notice. Hold on. I need to consult. Okay. All right. One more shuffle. Oh, shit. Ooh, Orchid. And then Mother Fears. All right. Card number 18, Mother Fierce. Mother Fierce is your guardian. Nothing can penetrate the passionate fire of her fearless love. Your safety is assured, beloved, in the midst of any apparent challenge or threat, no matter how frightening it may seem, and no matter how insecure you might feel about taking a step on your spiritual path into more power. Know that you are safe, that you are protected, that you are loved. Beloved, you've been growing spiritually, and sometimes this evokes responses from others. The responses may be loving and affirming, encouraging and validating. Many will choose to be inspired by your growth. Sometimes, however, lower vibrational responses will arise, which may be fearful, insecure, jealous, or angry. These responses arise so that they can be healed. The healing for you is in how you choose to allow yourself to shine and not be diminished by the healing process of another. For the other, their healing is their journey, and you have offered them a great service. Let me see. Know that you do not need to be afraid, nor do you need to hold yourself back out of fear. Ooh, Mother has spoken. There is nothing that escapes the notice of beloved Mother Kuan Yin. As a divine mother of fierce compassion and protection, she sees all, knows all, she blesses all. She can lift you beyond fear and threat, beloved, into a place of unity with divine love that secures you against any would-be threat and delivers you into peace. For you to benefit the most from her protection, you need to trust in her light and realize that she is shining through your own inner light, that she and you are one in the truth. From this perspective, you can realize that you always have the right to say no to any energy of fear or doubt that seeks to cause you harm. Harm comes from a lower vibration. It does not need to be feared, but it does need to be responded to with assertiveness and compassion. Kuan Yin now helps you retain your inner peace in the face of any lower vibrational energy, so that you can be kind and accepting of the divine essence in all of existence, no matter how heavily veiled the divinity appears to be, and yet also remain assertive that only unconditionally loving vibrations are welcome in your energy field. All right. All right. That was good. That was good. Let me just read a component of the other. The Orchid Priestess of your highest spiritual destiny calls to you now. She calls you to your purpose, path, and soul passion. You are called to rise and again and again, to live into your potential with all its uniqueness and beauty. She will call you always with her sweet flute playing deep in your heart, blossoms of orchid and chrysanthemum falling from her feet, stirring your heart to quest for your truest soul passion. You may have felt different to those around you at different times in your life. This is meant to be. You cannot be a pioneer of different consciousness on this planet if you feel completely comfortable in the consciousness that already exists around you. Do you know that this was chosen on purpose so you could be on purpose? Your soul chose to be of service by not fitting in so that it would remember through things not feeling right, that it was meant to help correct and heal the consciousness on our planet, starting with the self. Once the self was able to correct and align the consciousness within so that it matched the love and peace that existed deep in the heart, it would be easier to help others do the same, even if just by inspiration. This is where the Orchid Priestess of Destiny, beloved Kuan Yin, in her devotion to your highest spiritual attainment, calls you forward now. Yes, your divine destiny is calling you. That means it's time to unplug from mass consciousness at a deeper level than ever before, to really let go of the beliefs and thought forms that do not serve your highest destiny, no matter how unchallengeable they may seem to be. It's time to revise anything inside of you that would hold you back from owning your spiritual power and moving ahead in your divine destiny. It's your own divine destiny that calls you forward to do this. Do not fear. It's just you wanting to meet you in all your spiritual beauty and strength. Embrace the changes, and soon you will enjoy this spiritual reunion at a higher turn of the spiral of your own passionate life of spiritual purpose. The fruit and blossoms of the Orchid Priestess help you in this process now. So there's a lot of things that you will go through, right? There's a lot of things that will challenge you in your perception of yourself and your life. There's a lot of things that will cause you to challenge the way you react, challenge the way you respond. Can you guys teach me something right now? I don't know what to ask you to teach me, but there's something that I need to learn. It's almost like this sense of learning the proper positioning of my voice, not too soft, not too harsh, having experienced 2 wild swings in opposing directions. And now it's almost a sense of I don't know how to responsibly use my voice. How does one do that? How do we do that? How do we learn how to properly use our voice to the highest degree of its potentiality and purpose? Ooh. I tell you, Michael speaks through you. Use it where your boundaries lie and never waver. Yeah. I think that's the answer. I think that's the answer. So where's my boundary? And what words create that line? Where is that boundary? And what are the words that I am to speak to reestablish that line? You know? Is it more important to choose the right words, or is it more important to deliver those words, regardless of what the words chosen are, to deliver it in the right way with the right inflection, the right nuance, the right emphasis. I think process first, then speak. Ooh, speaking the truth, even if it's harsh for some, truth is truth. That's hard. But why is it hard? I think when we find the answers to the questions, like, I think for some truths it's easy to say, but for other truths it becomes a lot harder, because these are the truths that hit closer to home, that create more fragility because of the vulnerability and the potentiality for not necessarily saying the wrong thing, but the potentiality for your truth to be received in an untruthful way. I don't know if that makes sense. It's one of those things where it relates to the learning of boundaries and the enforcement of such, of finding your voice and using your voice as the very walls that would serve as your fortress, but also being careful that those words and that voice are not something that eventually become your prison. Not feeling afraid to say what you know you have to say. How people perceive your words is not your responsibility if you're not being intentionally harmful. Tess, you're not welcome around my family. I've repeatedly told you. You're not welcome around me or my family, extended or immediate. You're not welcome. And I know you continue to watch my live stream, so I know you're going to see this if you're not already watching it live. When multiple accounts of yours have been blocked through every single possible platform, and you continue, and you continue, you leave me no choice but to publicly address you, despite my disdain for you. And that disdain is not an avoidance because I think you're my twin and I'm running away from you. I avoid you because you're very delusional. But thank you for your part in forcing me to learn how to find my voice in such a way where I can tell you to back the fuck up and leave my fucking family alone. And one of the things that I realize, it's only hard until the first actual word that needs to be said comes out of the mouth. And after that, it just flows. It just flows. It flows. It flows because it's the stuff that needs to be said. It's not the stuff that needs to be carefully crafted, carefully edited, proper words chosen, and you know, There's a power to it when it's the truth being spoken from a truthful mouth with a genuine heart because of a genuine need that continues to be disregarded. And I'm going to talk to my family. I have very real expectations. You're not welcome anywhere near us. Don't force my hand. Don't force my hand. It's not going to be fun. And if you disrupt my family one more time, you'll force my hand. Not cool. At all. Not cool at all. I'm talking directly to you, Tess. And I've been telling you the same fucking thing for several years now. It's time for you to obsess about a different female. The whole story that you have in your head about I'm not happy in my marriage, I don't know who lied to you. I don't know what type of weak woman you've created me to be in your head. You need to leave me and my family alone at this point. And I don't even feel bad if you feel embarrassed, because you should be. You absolutely should be. I have no good words for you at all. At all. Like at all, at all, at all. At all. There's just a lot that people who are empathic, people who are Piscean, people who are sensitive to energies, people who are vulnerable, there's a lot that we deal with. Pick and choose what you're going to deal with. Pick and choose. Pick and choose and stick with it. Pick and choose. You have to make decisions for yourself, because if not, and you allow it to carry through because you've convinced yourself, like, oh, what if I'm tripping? What if I'm just being mean? What if I'm this? What if I'm that? You know what ends up happening? It plays out exactly the way you knew it would play out, and then you still attack yourself afterwards. I'm getting to a point in my life where I would rather be mean to myself about choosing to avoid the bullshit. That's the reality of it. You're going to attack yourself no matter what, right? You're going to put yourself down no matter what. No matter what, you're going to look for reasons and ways and excuses that you tell yourself to justify why you're so mean to yourself. Tell me about it, Carmen. Tell me about it. And this is someone who had no problem saying in a public setting crazy ass shit. Crazy ass shit. Like, you want to chase me in the woods in the middle of the dark. What kind of Hunger Games bullshit is that? That's not, like, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? Y'all, I got a lot of tolerance. I do. Thank you. She said it. I have such a high level of tolerance. People get away with so much fucking shit for years before I finally have enough. Like literally years, y'all. Years. 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 We do it to ourselves, though. It's not that we deserve that, it's that we allow it. But when you allow it, you give passive permission for it to continue. No more. I'm so done. No more. I'm so done being quietly disgusted. Like it doesn't feel like a compliment. It doesn't feel flattering at all. Like I want to be very, very clear. It does not feel flattering to me in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't feel flattering that people come to me who I don't know telling me things. I promise you, I am not your twin anything. And to be quite frank, dealing with you is one of the major reasons why I hate the whole topic of twin flames. It's not because of my twin ray, it's because of you. I didn't want to say it on live streams, but I mean, let's just be fucking fully honest at this point. It's because of you having to deal with you. Hope I'm clear enough now. Hope I'm clear enough now. Had nothing to do with some dude. Had everything to do with you. Like, I hate the topic because of that. So now y'all know. Now y'all know why it irks the hell out of me whenever twin flame information comes out in the readings, because I already know at least 2 people who identify me as their twin will use those readings to try and justify their continued harassment and stalking of me. Now you know why all the eye rolling, like, oh, fucking God. Has nothing to do with the actual person. Actual person has no contact with me. Yeah. Actual person actually is respectful. Very respectful. Ain't that some ish? I could never identify as a divine counterpart of someone who does not respect other people's boundaries, who does not listen to needs, who does not listen to flat out, very clear, very, very clear communication. I do not want you around me. It's ugly. It's ugly how people use things that don't apply to them to justify their continued attempt to violate other people. That's not okay. It's really, really, literally not okay. It's not okay. It's not cute. It's not flattering. It's not any of that at all. It does not make you look attractive or any of that. If y'all keep trying to pursue somebody, they're not interested in you and you continue to pursue them. They're not available and you continue to pursue them. They've already told you, leave me alone, and you continue to pursue them. There's nothing divine or sacred about that. Nothing. Nothing. That is an attempt to own someone else. That is an attempt to enforce, coerce, like, exactly, Carmen. No means no. And when it comes to these types of topics, people are like, oh, no, she doesn't really mean no. She just doesn't know. I don't know that you're not trustworthy, that you're fucking crazy. How about I remind you, one of the public readings, one of the expedites, our past life connection. Let me remind you. You abducted one of my children. And in that life, I actually was married to my divine counterpart. And we chased you down and he beheaded you. And I'm supposed to trust you in this one? I'm supposed to trust you in this one? Gotcha. Some people don't change through lifetimes. Some people don't change through lifetimes. They still have the same fixation, the same obsessions, the same unhealthy, ridiculous disillusionment. Just because it's a new lifetime doesn't mean that goes away. Didn't want you then, don't want you now. Yep. That's what the reading was. That was the reading. I don't know if any of y'all were present for that. That was the reading. Yeah. The fact that I still remember that should tell you something. The fact that I remember that detail. I think this is the period where we have to actually say the things that need to be said. We have to release all of that pent up toxicity, whether it's just writing it out and never sending it, whether it's writing to someone, texting, whatever it is. There's a communication that needs to take place. When you allow that communication to take place and you allow yourself to release the things that you've been holding, the amount of compacted toxicity causing necrotic negativity, that's very alleviated, very much alleviated. Yeah. Right, Queen of Hearts? If you did something to me that heinous in a past life, I could never trust you in this one. I just wouldn't take my chances. So I'll give you guys the full memory. That was a life when I lived as an empress. You needed to be a part of my bloodline in order to be able to access the palace. One of my children was taken by this person because they had plans to assassinate me. They wanted to divide my kingdom, my empire. So they were going to take my child, my less than 1-year-old baby, and bloodlet. They were going to drain all the blood out of my child so they could open all the entrances into my empire, so that they can get enough people into my empire to assassinate me in the middle of the night. And I'm supposed to trust you? Sure. Sure. I'll trust you as much as I did in that life. Because I find it interesting that as someone who consistently dressed the way I did in that lifetime, I was wearing tactical gear that night. I chased you down wearing tactical gear. Me and the Emperor were both dressed in tactical gear. We had tactical shoes, the ones with the spikes so we can climb walls. We knew you were coming. We just had to wait to see which child you would take. Your head was off your body before your body hit the floor. I took it off with my katana while he tackled you. Partially severed. The force of me jumping off your shoulders and him taking you down, that's what snapped your neck off. I remember that detail. I'm never going to trust you. I'm never going to let you in. Never. Never. Just because I don't talk about what I remember from past lives doesn't mean I don't remember it. And when you have the capability of doing nasty, heinous things, you carry that with you. You carry that with you. No, I'm not going to trust you. You're never going to be able to apologize enough for that. You're never going to make up for that. You're never going to change my opinion about you. And everything you continue to do in this lifetime to try and be a part of my life only further amplifies that knowing you are not to be anywhere in the proximity of me and my family. Ever. Ever. You know, don't think that just because you have past life connections with people don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. Not all the past life connections are about, oh, you were in a relationship, you love each other, you need to be in a relationship again in this life. And nope. Nope. I'm just, thank you guys for letting me vent. That's what I'm saying. I just don't know how to contact my counterpart. I don't know. How would I do that? I don't know. So it's like, okay, maybe we should reestablish all of that. You still got no place at the table. You still got no place at the table. You know what I'm saying? You guys, don't let people convince you. Don't let people convince you anything that doesn't feel right to you. If it doesn't feel right, it's for a reason. If it does not feel right, it's for a reason. And I mean, yeah. No, I'm I could say way more, but I'm not going to. Enough's been said. There's been enough clarity. There's enough of a spotlight on that clarity. There's no mistakes where I stand with you. None. New accounts, even older accounts. I don't care what you use. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. You're not wanted in any way, shape, or form. Stay away from me. Stay away from my family. So not joking. Not playing hard to get. If you notice, I'm not even blinking. Absolutely mean every single word that I said. Stay away. So I'm going to end it there before I just get belligerent. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm so good. I'm so good. Like I said, I would more than welcome uh I would more than welcome the return of the emperor than have that shit at my fucking table. Never. Never. Not then, not now, not ever. So guys, please give this video a thumbs up. Wish we could give it a middle finger up so we could really express how we feel. You know, like I said, I really don't like confrontation in real life. I don't. I don't. But sometimes we have to confront the things that we need to confront, or else it becomes this thing that is ugly. Becomes this thing that is ugly. And I also want to make clear, to make this just absolutely transparent, this person used a different profile here on YouTube. They played this whole role, played up how they were injured, basically got me to share information because of their injury. And wouldn't you know, once I realized who it was and I blocked them, that's when they decided they needed to utilize that information so they could get help for their injury. It was only after they were blocked yet again. Tell me how that reads. I'm just being a bitch, or is that like only after they were blocked again? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Made it entirely different financial account so that the names don't match up, the emails don't match up. Yeah. Yep. Yep. To that degree. I'm done. I'm like done. Cody's mom, to the mama bear. Say you're a mama bear. Just like, say you're a mama bear. I'm a mama bear. Oh my God. Yeah, no, you guys, my privacy and my life off of the live streams is very sacred to me. It is very, very, very sacred to me. It's very sacred to me. And when people disregard that, when people try and don't make the fucking dark bruja come out of me. Don't make the fucking dark bruja come out of me. I'm just saying. I'm saying that's the only time I'm saying that. That's the only time I'm going to say that. It's not a threat. It's not a threat. Yep. I don't even know if bruja is the right word for me. I think the more accurate label is sorceress. I don't want to tap into that part of me. I know what's sleeping there. I want it to sleep a little longer. So leave me the fuck alone. That part's grumpy if it's woken up. Been quite a few lifetimes. But it has a good memory. It doesn't forget any purpose, any tools, any words. It doesn't forget any of that. Don't make that up. So, what they need is a dildo, so they'll leave me alone. Should we start like an Amazon wish list for them? I mean, I don't know. They need something. I think that's what they need. I don't have any of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? The only toy I have is my husband. That's been more than suffice. If y'all want to start like an Amazon wish list for them, let y'all do that for them. Don't even inform me. I don't want to know what she's gonna get. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. I just don't. I don't want to. Put some sanitizer in there. Sanitizer, I think that's necessary. You know, I'm just saying. Maybe y'all can get them a subscription to like Pornhub or some shit. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Would that make them more obsessed with me? I don't know. Whatever y'all think will, keep them preoccupied to leave me the fuck alone. I absolutely appreciate whatever help Pisces gang, empath gang can give. Get them a variety pack of dildos. I don't know. Shit. Y'all be like too much. Oh, that was my idea, huh? Was it one of you that suggested that? Or was it me? Oh shit. I think it was me. Oh damn. If y'all buy that shit for them, don't tell me. Don't put my name on that shit because I don't want them thinking I'm like, oh, but by the way, I was kidding. I just had to say that because my husband was watching. Oh no, I gotta go. I'm gonna go take a nap or something. I'm gonna go take a nap. It's just too much. Too much. Create an Amazon account with one of their fake accounts and email. Send them the wish list and with email reminders. Let me just stop. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. Join me when I'm live, unless you're one of my stalkers. Don't join me ever. Don't join me ever. Like ever, ever, ever. Go run, I'll chase you. Go run, I'll chase you, I promise. Run, I promise. If we do like, the twin flame thing, we're like, runner, chaser, your turn. Your turn to run. I'll chase you. We'll play Marco Polo. Marco. Bitch, keep running. Marco. Bitch, keep running. I mean it. Bitch, keep running. In the opposite direction. I mean it. Like 100% mean it. For real. I'm not even disappointed. I'm just disgusted. Like flat out, like disgusted. Just disgusted. All right, guys, for real. Thumbs up, subscribe. See y'all tomorrow. Please don't pick up any stalkers and don't become one. Don't pick up any stalkers and don't become one. That's the new hashtag for this channel. Hashtag don't pick up any stalkers and don't become one. Someone put that in the comments. We're going to call it a night. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night. Don't pick up any stalkers and don't become one. Love you guys. Bye.